Cause I realize I'm dying myself. That's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Sid. I am back, baby. I'm back. Again with the consistency. You know, I have not been able to be consistent since last fall-ish, but that was when I was pre-recording content during break from school. So I'm trying to get it together. But anyway, the more important thing is that I'm back. I am here. And today we're going to be talking about why I chose the kind of nursing program that I did. We're going to be talking about some of the benefits of that style program versus other programs and their benefits, some of the cons of both of those, and all that good stuff. Before we get into all of that, please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Y'all keep coming back to watch my videos, so you might as well subscribe and join the fam. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss when I do upload, and be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so I am in an ADN program. If you don't know what that means, I am in an associate degree in nursing program. So after I finish school this December, I will have my associate's degree. I already have another bachelor's degree, and I will have to go on to do an RN to BSN, which will be a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, after I graduate this fall, past NCLEX, everything like that. So there are more than one kind of nursing program you can go through, more than one style of nursing program you can enter. And I'm only going to talk about undergraduate level because we can address grad level and the types of ways to get to a graduate degree from different levels of undergrad degrees once I actually get to that point. But yeah, there are multiple ways to attain your RN, which is being a registered nurse. There is the ADN program, and I'll have a little something here. There is the ADN program, which is an associate's degree in nursing, and that is usually done in a 2-year program or a 2.5-year program at a community college or a school that may be owned by a hospital or something of that nature. Then you also have a BSN, which is a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. That is done at a 4-year school university. You can do that when you start out at the school your freshman year. Usually you'll start out as pre-nursing. I did that. We discussed how that went for me a little bit in previous videos. But yes, you can start off at a 4-year school, and usually most schools that I know of, from my experience, you start off at that school as pre-nursing. You apply to get into their nursing program, and you have to get accepted into the nursing program after completing your pre-nursing classes. There are some schools, I know Clemson is one of them, where once you get into the school, you automatically are in the nursing program because that's what you applied for your major to be. I don't know how many schools are actually like that, but that is an option as well with a BSN degree. And then the other option is a ABSN, which is an accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So with an accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing, that's applying to a program when you already have a previous bachelor's degree, and they jumble everything up into about a 12-month 13-month time frame. I'm sure there are some programs that might be a little bit longer than that, but you will graduate with your bachelor's degree and have to sit to be able to become an RN. So you don't have to go back to school after that if you don't want to, because that's the baseline where everybody wants that level. Usually with nursing, they want you to have a bachelor's degree with nursing. If you don't, some places will pay for you to get a bachelor's degree. Some may not, but they do want you to have that. That's the standard. All right, so the reason that I chose the program I did is because I was going to have the option to still work enough to be able to support myself to a degree, and I was still going to have time to do life and not only school, which isn't an issue, but I didn't want to have to ask my dad or my mom if I could fully depend on them for everything while I did school. Again, they helped me with school the first time, so I just felt like personally I didn't want to ask for that again. You know, like college, I had my student loans, and then I would come home or go to wherever home was with either of them for the breaks and stuff, and they supported me during all of that, and I just didn't want to ask for that again because they didn't have to do it the first time and they did, and I appreciated it so much. So I was like, if I can do this for myself, I'm going to do whatever I can to make this happen for myself. So that is why I chose an ADN program, an associate degree program, over a accelerated BSN program, or even just going to another school and doing a BSN program that wasn't accelerated. That's why this was the best option for me. Just being able to work, networking as well. The school that I go to is owned by the hospital that I work at, so get a little networking in, make connections, and kind of get my foot in some doors that I may not have been able to get it in if I didn't work at this hospital or for this hospital system. And I appreciate that too. That was one of the things that drew me to this program when I was looking at associate degree programs, in comparison to the other style of programs that I did look at. I also liked the option of loan forgiveness. As I said before, I had student loans for my previous degree, and at the school that I'm at, they offer loan forgiveness if you work for the hospital system after graduating. That's great. That's wonderful, because this isn't like I'm not paying out X amount of money. I just have to work for them, and I'm gonna need a job. I can't relocate to do my long-term goal until I work for a certain amount of time, and that's just an added bonus in there. And then because I already work for that system, they have an employee assistance program as far as paying for school after you've worked for them for so long. They have scholarship options for employees that are going back to school for things. I can't remember what the other thing is called, but there's multiple avenues of ways that they are willing to help you pay for your education. So all of this stacked on top of each other is just like making the school that I did choose wonderful. Like, hey, pick me. And I'm like, if I can save money, this is a real good option, you know? And just like I said before, living, not depending solely on my parents for every single thing, all that good stuff. Because if I was depending on my parents for everything, I wouldn't be in the city I'm in right now, quite frankly. So yes, that is a few of the things that led me to choosing an ADN program. And location, as I stated kind of jokingly, I didn't want to have to move somewhere where I didn't know anybody and start all the way over just yet. Like, after you graduate from college, that is a thing that people do, but I was going into more school, and I wasn't in a place where I was ready to just bounce out the state like that. I love my family, and I don't think I was ready to fully be gone like that. So that was another thing. But now I have a few points about the different styles of programs and what they have to offer all that good stuff, and my idea of some pros and cons between these types of programs. So we can get into that now. All right, so I have a little list here that I made of some of the pros and cons of these kinds of programs and stuff. And the first thing is that no matter what kind of degree you get, whether you get an associate's, a bachelor's, do the accelerated bachelor's, no matter what of the three you choose, you still have to sit to take the exam to become an RN. The degree and the RN license are not the same thing. You get the license after you pass the exam. The degree itself is what's getting you to the point where you can take the exam. So, whether I chose a bachelor's program or an associate's program, they all have to be qualified enough for me to be able to qualify to sit to take the licensure exam to become a registered nurse. So that was the first thing. It's like, no matter which of these programs I do, no matter what style program I choose, is it going to get me to the point legally? Are they accredited? All of that. Is it legally going to get me to the point where I need to be able to sit for this exam to get my license? And the answer to that question is yes. Associate's program, you still become an RN after you pass the exam. Bachelor's program, still become an RN after you pass the exam. ABSN, still become an RN after you pass the exam. So that was one of the main things. I'm like, no matter what kind of degree program I choose, I'm still going to become an RN as long as I pass the exam. Another thing is school qualifications. As I stated, there was a program that I looked into that their accreditation wasn't the most clear. And if you have questions about the accreditation at all, you need to get them cleared up, because that's a red flag. If it's not clear, there's no way for you to know for sure that you taking classes at this school for a degree is going to qualify you, don't do it. Ask your questions, do your research, whatever you need to do to make sure that you cover your own behind and don't waste your money. Do it. So I know that there is a few, because I looked into RN to BSN programs as well after I decided that I was going to do an ADN program. And that's when accreditation and stuff came up, and I was all that good stuff. So you just need to make sure that they have all of the proper accreditation in place so that you can go through the program without having something to worry about. Nursing school is stressful enough. Just make sure you cover all your bases before you agree to enroll somewhere and spend that money. The next point is the NCLEX. I kind of already covered this, but like, no matter what kind of program you do, the NCLEX is what you need to become an RN. A RN is a registered nurse. That's a license. The degree is just a degree. So you have to pass the NCLEX to become a registered nurse, gain your license, and all of that good stuff. You can do that in any state as long as you take your coursework at a qualified university or college and pass the NCLEX. That's really the main thing here. The path to the NCLEX. This is the premise of this whole video. There are multiple paths. Whichever one suits you the best, go with it. But the NCLEX is the pot at the end of the rainbow, for lack of a better analogy. That's what we're working towards. That's what we're trying to get to. Once we pass that, then you're really at the end of the rainbow and the sunshine and unicorns, and you're RN. Woo. Yes. All right. That's pretty much it for my points. Another pro and con of both multiple types of access points to get you on the road to NCLEX RN. The ADN programs are usually less expensive. If you're doing just the ADN versus going and doing a BSN and doing the whole 4 years of college, you're not living on campus. So that's money off already. You're literally just paying for class and your clinical fee or whatever, and then your lab fee if that's a thing, books if you have to buy books, and then your scrubs and whatever you need as far as like stethoscope and stuff that you would still need regardless of how you get to NCLEX RN. ADN is less expensive because you're only paying your tuition, a few fees, which is less fees because you're not using as much as you would use if you were on a university campus. So that is an added bonus with the ADN program, just the lower cost. And if you're doing a ADN in comparison to a BSN and not an accelerated program, you get to the RN point faster. An ADN program is 2 years. A BSN program is 4 years. A ABSN, the accelerated program, is usually like a year and a half, somewhere in there. So with the ADN, you're done in 2 years. You're past your NCLEX. You're working already. So because you'll be working already, you'll be working and doing your BSN. And depending on where you're at, like I said, your hospital may pay for you to do the RN, the BSN or something. They may have assistance or something. So that's just another thing. Just if you're thinking of how long, or not necessarily how long, but if the time it takes to get to the end goal is a factor for you, the ADN program and the ABSN program are the two faster options to get to RN. And that's pretty much it for my pros and cons. They kind of got lumped together in there, but you get the point. So, like I said, pros and cons. The ADN program is less expensive and you get to RN faster. You can possibly get loan forgiveness or tuition reimbursement for doing your RN to BSN after doing an ADN program. You will have to work while you do your BSN if you go through an ADN program. So when you do your RN to BSN, you'll be working already. That's not the nicest. We don't really like that much, or at least some people don't. That's one of the downsides to most people, and they only accept a set number of students at a time for all these programs, but you have more variability with that with ADN, given the multiple start dates, 6 as opposed to 2 or 1 depending on the school. So that's a few things that I thought I would share with you guys. I am very happy with my decision to choose an ADN program. There is absolutely nothing wrong with going through a community college or a 2-year program to become an RN. No matter what, you still have the same licensure as the next person. So don't let anybody try to rain on your parade or make you feel less than because you did an ADN program. Realistically, y'all have the same job. You get paid the same. There's nothing they can do about it unless they advance or have something else to add to their qualifications. So, yeah. All right, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll wait. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss my next upload. And please be sure to like, comment down below. What kind of program are you in? How'd you choose your program? Are you happy that you chose your program? All that good stuff. I hope that you found this video helpful. And I will see you guys in the next one.